I kind of have a bit of bad news. Yeah, I know. You don't want to hear any more bad news after the security override. I couldn't do. My records of this sphere are out of date, to say the least. There should be an exit after the third section of this test. However, I don't know if getting there will be that easy. You got it in you, though. You're my Olympian. You might not have a beating heart anymore. Wait a second, I'm getting some strange voice coming through. I'll patch it through.
Scanning. Lima Whiskey. 70% complete. No vital signs detected. Initiating flooding procedure.
That's coming up from new aperture. What the? My scans are going nuts. Something's happening. The sphere's unstable. Get out of here. Run! transition seal leading up to where I am. Hurry, before this whole place floods or comes down. It's exploding. Rocks are falling everywhere, and you're taking the elevator. What if the power went out? You'd be trapped. You gotta get out of there. The room's filling with smoke. Good. At least you won't suffocate in this room. But you still need to find a way to get to the transition seal. Is there anything you can use to put out the fire or something? Whoa! No, don't do that. You won't bring the place down in your head? I can't believe that worked. Oh, right, get going, before something else happens. Wow, if you'd been there a few seconds earlier, you'd have been incinerated. Thank the maker your word, though. I need the muscle. Okay, bad news! When the pump station blew, the floodgates opened up wide. Toxic goos rising fast, the sensors maxed out ages ago, warning lights going crazy all around. This just got a lot more serious. Alright, you're at Quality Control Center 95D. Only a bit further and you'll be at the hatch up to me. Hurry. I'll try to slow the goo down a bit. The door won't open from this side. Maybe there's some other way around or something? Oh, great. Another blocked corridor. So, Mel, why don't you take your time? Look around here. I'll try to slow the rising goo down a little bit harder, I guess. Just don't take all day. Great job, Mel. You're on the other side of that door now. Yes! Very good. doors are locked? Back in the day, the wiring was a bit strange sometimes. Try turning some machinery on, see if that also unlocks the doors. Wow, that actually worked. I mean, great! Well, that's just great. Can't we get through a room once without stuff blowing up or blocking our way? Try to find some water again or something. Great. From there's just the walls. Don't get comfy though. I pulled the plug on some emergency runoff dams, but the goo is still rising. Wow! This place is massive! Whoever built this place must be a great architect. Up high, at the back side of this room, is a control panel. It controls the hatch. Try to get there. Records show that at least 2 people were needed to activate the vault hatch. You're one person. There's a bit of a problem there. I'm sure you can figure something out. Smarter than I thought. Not a genius like me, but still. Take the elevator up to me. I'm in the junkyard just outside the hatch. It's finally time for me to repay my end of the deal. A short walk to the new enrichment center from here. We'll meet up shortly. And good news, we're not going to have to worry about the goo eating us alive. I'll seal up the hatch and we don't have to worry about that anymore. That's definitely a plus. Ah, great. You're here. I can finally get out of this technological nightmare. If you can get into the offices, I'm safe. You just might have to get around a few security fences, though, trying to keep the giant human-eating rats out. The floor's getting quite cold here. Hey, over here. I'm right over here. Hey, Mel. Nice to finally see you. It's kind of dark here, though. You should turn the power on so we can get the lights working. There's some more offices on the other side of the double doors. Check there. Turn the power on first, then pick me up. Lights, check. Camera, check. Action, hopefully not.
Detecting power surge at sub-basement station 26. Threat level, moderate. Activating security protocols.
So much for no action. Come back and pick me up. Whew. Good. That floor was getting very cold. My motherboard was almost going critical. Alright, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Mr. Virgil, core guy, how were you able to control everything and see everything in the old testing facility? Well, one simple answer. Wi-Fi. I'm fully Wi-Fi capable. Anyway, take me over to the elevator control room. There's a management rail I can use to get back up to the enrichment center. Oh, and I can also get an elevator for you. Ah, much better. Good to be back on track again. Let me go back here and get your elevator so we can get out of here. Yes! This should help. That wasn't me, I think.
Detecting security override at sub-basement 26. Generator override command initiated.
Override generator override command.
Error. Scanning for life forms. Unregistered life forms detected in facility. Commencing termination program. 3 targets acquired. 1 organic, 2 mechanical.
Well, at least I can get you out of here now. We'll worry about that voice on the intercom later. I'll meet you upstairs.
Toxic contaminant level from testing track Lima Whiskey rising. Time to contact with enrichment center to be determined. Flooding procedure commencing. The elevator wasn't going to my testing track, so I've rerouted the lift. Luckily for you, it's not too far away. These things can take forever sometimes. And there's no magazines to read. So annoying. Welcome to my testing track. It's not the best looking thing in the world, but it'll do. Let's see if I can just get this door open and get us out of here. Okay, sorry, I can't help you with this testing track. All Apture Science AIs have been programmed to not help with solving the tests. I can, however, test to see if everything still works. It's been a while since I fell off that management rail and plummeted down into that pit, so maybe some stuff broke in my absence. Checking the funnel. Working. Fizzler. Looking over. And toxic goo drainage pipe. Eaten away by toxic corrosive goo. Oh, lovely. That's not important. You can do this test just fine. I hope. She couldn't even open the locked door.
automated control of entire testing track.
Great. Just great. It seems you tipped off whatever that thing is to our presence. It has taken control of the testing track. So much for that.
Descending to exit 1 of testing track Virgil.
I'll keep trying to take control back. In the meantime, keep going through the testing track.
Hardline bridge control center activating. Hardline bridges coming online. Toxic contaminant level from testing track lean whiskey rising. Estimated time to contact with enrichment center 25 minutes.
I'm still working here. Seems like I've got to hack this thing. Come on, Wi-Fi, don't fail me now. I've got a good signal strength. I finally broke into that thing's server. I'll try and learn more about what's going on, but I'll keep you posted.
Threat level of unknown organic life form moderate. Continue tracking.
It seems that thing is using some biological tracking to find out where you are. Get into the elevator to the next test. I'll need a little bit more time to get us removed from the system. I think we'll be in the clear for a little bit, but somehow I can't get access to the final target, or even learn what it is. Whatever it is, it's enough to cause this thing to blow up the toxic goo pump control down in the salt mines.
Activating Aegis firewall.
I just tripped an alarm in that thing's mainframe. It completely locked me out. Firewall, huh? Firewall. That just gave me an idea. I'm going to reroute some of the water to the Aegis servers. That should shut the firewall down.
Target 1 organic, 1 mechanical. Reacquired for termination. Security measures at 75%. Alert status red. Toxins from testing track Lima Whiskey. Contact with Enrichment Center, sub-basement, level 10. Flooding procedures commencing.
The plan to flood the servers worked. I should be able to get you back into the testing track. Let me open these for you. Well, with those servers gone, I think he'll have a much harder time tracking our movements. I'm working on getting control of the elevators, so just hold on, get through this test, and I'll get you out of here. With those servers gone, I think he'll have a much harder time tracking our movements. I'm working on getting control of the elevators, so just hold on, get through this test, and I'll get you out of here. I got some control again. There's another lift transfer down below. Hold on. Activating the elevator. Now.
Elevator car 77, testing track direction compromised. Alert status 100%. Rerouting remaining servers to biological tracking. Target lost.
Rerouting the elevator worked. That got its attention. Don't expect this to get any easier now. Keep going. There's an easy test track up ahead. Maybe you can gain some ground on it. So, you can handle a lot of harder tests. This is a brand new introduction track, designed for new test subjects. You should do this really quickly. I've got a plan. Mel, over here! Change of plans. I found a panel that I can move out of the way. Portal down to that catwalk in the distance. I'll tell you more there. So, I was thinking, if this computer has scanners searching for biological substances, maybe there can be some interference? You know, with things like plants. There's an overgrown testing track across the facility that hasn't been converted yet. If we can get there, I think we can confuse it. Perfect. Just perfect. The button's blown a fuse. Maybe, if you get up to an upper level, you can get the elevator. Alright, listen. I was able to hack into that system and run a basic diagnostic before I got booted. The computer is known as the Aperture Employee Guardian and Intrusion System, or AGIS for short. It looks to be a security mainframe, trying to protect the scientists logged into its system. It hasn't been turned on in decades. Maybe that's why it's after us, and whatever that last threat is. Maybe it thinks we killed the scientists. Alright, I finally got access to some schematics of this place. I can guide you to that overgrown testing track now to cover our tracks. Head through the corridor to the left. Should take you through the work-in-progress test chambers. Oh, why on earth is it always such a problem to get from point A to point B when you're outside of the testing tracks? That red laser on the wall seems to be controlling that door. You should probably find a way to block it. Great. Through there is a crappy backstop chamber GLaDOS was designing before her demise. Never finished, but it should at least be working.
Opening panels near biological target. Error. Gate bottom detected. Subroutines unable to control.
You dodged a bullet on that one. I told you to be careful. Next time might not be so forgiving.
Scans indicate target in elevator shaft. Activating trapped elevator.
He thinks you're going to use the elevator?